Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. I think I can safely say this is the largest orchid haul I've ever had. For two reasons. Large can mean several things. I've put the box on the floor, basically because it nearly fills the whole table, and it would give away some of the plants basically. I asked Sarah to wrap them up so that I could unwrap them for you, because everybody likes the surprises, which she finds quite amusing. But anyway, I'm going to get them out one at a time. We'll have a look at them and you can say what you think of my choices. As I said yesterday in the short Sunday chat, not all of these are in bloom. Some were just selected from the benches, not in the sales area, in the nursery, because they were spotted as pretty good looking plants. One's a repeat, one's an unknown hybrid. But let's get something out and have a look. There we go, that's it. That's your lot. Only joking. This is a size that I can usefully use. It's got a very wide base, not too tall, with a good air cone, a good amount of ventilation. So I've got a few of those, 5 in fact. I don't normally buy that sort of thing. I normally get that sort of thing online, but it's just becoming tedious messing about online. Right. See what we got first up then. You tell what it is yet? Some of you should be able to tell by now, just by the colour of the leaves if nothing else. So let's see what we got then. What we've got here is a Miltoniopsis. Not in bloom. It is named, I think there was a name on it. Yes, because I asked the girl on the till, could she look it up for me so that I can have a look at the flowers. So if I can find it online, I will actually put a pop up. It's an awarded plant. It was awarded by the RHS and the American Orchid Society, and it's Miltoniopsis Red Knight, with Grail in quotes. So we'll see if we can find that. So why did that catch my eye then? Well, it caught my eye because new growth, new growth, new growth. Well, I thought there was 4. Yes, it's the number of new growths. It looked a strong, healthy plant. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 growths that potentially are going to bloom. I would expect at least 1 or 2 of them to bloom, and that will depend entirely on what's down in the pot as far as roots are concerned. But there's root activity going on at the base of the plant, so there are roots growing from these new growths. So that was the first one. I'm going to have to put these down elsewhere or I will run out of room. As I said, if I can find that on the internet, you'll have had a pop-up of the bloom. But it's a named, awarded Miltoniopsis hybrid. And it was the only one. I'm not sure if that had been put in the wrong place, but it was the only one. Right, the next one will be a surprise for everybody. Not, I mean a surprise because you won't be able to see it until I unwrap it. It's a surprise because you wouldn't expect me to buy it. Hang on, let me let the cat in. Come on, you. Always chooses to go out or come in when I'm busy. Well, just for that, you can come up and say hello to people. There. You can say hello to people. You've got bits all over your face now. You've been rummaging in the bushes, haven't you? Hey? Come on then, let's get you out of the way. go. Thank you. Right, so this, I'll give you a clue, won't be growing in the grow room. Aha! I can hear you all going, we know what it is. It's one, or a type, that I've been after for a while. And they don't turn up, I know it sounds daft, but they don't turn up very often. And I'll tell you why this caught my eye, apart from being a good plant. Yes, we've bought a Phalaenopsis, an addition to those on the kitchen windowsill, because the Violacia came out here, leaving us space. So I thought, well, let's add another one to the kitchen windowsill. Project Orchids, basically. People who grow in the home on windowsills add new ones in if they've still got the space. So that's basically what I'm doing. Right, now I've got room to get rid of the rubbish. I doubt if this has got a name. I don't think. Oh, it says Phalaenopsis ferrara. Now, that could be a proper registered name. So why did I pick on this then? It's just a store-bought Phalaenopsis, mass-produced. Well, I'll tell you why. I love the yellow, and what normally happens with the yellow Phalaenopsis is they have a contrasting colour in the lip, like purple or red or something, and I dislike those a lot. This one is shades of yellow and cream, and that's all. That's why I like it. It's a 2-spike plant and plenty of buds still to open. So that'll be a nice addition to the kitchen windowsill. And next time when it blooms, obviously the spikes won't get stuck bolt upright, they'll be allowed to arch. But it won't bloom again. Once these two blooms finish, it won't bloom again for some time, because it will be quite exhausted, I suspect. But that's not a bad root system, is it? It's incredibly wet. Well, that's soon dealt with. It can just be allowed to dry off before it gets any more water. But that's an impressive root system. Very pleased with that. So that's that one. Phalaenopsis, what did I say it was? Ferrara. Not Ferrari, Ferrara. Right, so that's that one. What's next then? I'm just picking these out as I come to them. I'm not coming out in any particular order, but this is another non-blooming one, I can tell. There's no colour sticking out the top. And this one is a replacement to one that I didn't lose. It went to somebody else. And it's too long ago for me to remember why. It's a long time since I last posted out orchids. And I can tell by what's going on in the pot, what's happened with this one. This is one that Sarah would have bought in, a job lot with many, in bloom to sell. And the blooms went over and it hadn't sold. So she put it out in her nursery area rather than in the sales area. You can tell it's been out there a while because it's starting to grow ferns. And what is it? It's an old favourite, Oncostele catatanti. Still one of my favourite autumn colour blooms. So why did I get it again? Well, first of all, when you're walking through the nursery area, a plant like this catches your eye because there's a few tatty looking ones in there, and some of them are all jumbled up. So I picked it up and I thought, well, that's a lovely strong new growth there. Oh, there's another strong new growth there. Oh, there's another one in the middle of the plant. So that's got 3 strong new growths coming on it, all of which should bloom. And look at the quality of the older bulbs. They're all big and fat and plump. There's a lot of energy in that plant. That's going to come back into bloom with those new growths. Been in the pot a while, algae, but it's got plenty of roots and there's plenty of root activity. So now, if I put that in a black pot now to kill that algae, I'll spoil the media because it will then rot, it will decay badly. So I'll have to put up with that until it gets repotted. and I'll have to make my mind up, do I repot it now? And the decision for that will be based at the base of these new growths. Are there still new roots coming out, or have they all, there's another new growth starting there by the looks of it. It's a busy plant. I may take the risk and repot it now. See, what I could do with this is take it out of its pot and tease away the edge with the algae in, leaving hopefully some good stuff. Yeah, this is hard bark in here. And then just put it back either in a smaller pot with no algae and then put it inside the black pot, or put it in the same size pot but with some fresh bark down the outside. So that's a decision not made yet. So there we go, that's an old friend that's come back in as a strong, healthy plant, and we should get blooms on at least 2 of those new growths, if not all 3. And 2 of the new growths are around the same size, and this thing is renowned for putting up 2 spikes on a strong bulb. So we'll see what comes of this, but yeah, I have high hopes for that. So that's that one. Now this one I can't, yes I can, I've got one more that I can hide from you until I get it out of the pot. And then the others, the blooms are sticking out the top of the paper, so I can't hide them. Now this is a genus that I used to have a couple of, and they never did well. They just didn't get going. And these were a job lot that Sarah's got. There were probably 24 of them all lined up in neat rows ready to sell. And I took a look at them and I thought, I like the plant, irrespective of the blooms. Let's give them another go. As I've got a totally different grow room now, I've got a different environment, so I thought let's give them another go. Yep, we've got a Paphiopedilum, and it's blackjack. It's a very popular hybrid. I'm not sure how much longer this bloom's actually going to last, basically because I don't know how long it's been open, but again, I went through the whole lot and picked the plant. Now we've got the growth here that's got the bloom coming out of, and then we've got another one here and another one here. Now whether those are growing on bulbs that led to the one that's bloomed, or whether they are growths that also could bloom, that I don't know. But it looked a good plant, and I like the paphs with the patterned leaves. I've got no time for the plain ones, I must admit. Now, I don't know whether this has got decent roots or not. The whole plant could be stood upright on the stake that's holding the bloom for all I know. But I thought we'll get a paph and we'll see what it does. We'll see how well it does. Gorgeous deep colour. But as I said, you know, these are a popular hybrid, Paphiopedilum blackjack. There's loads of them around. There were loads for sale at Malvern from multiple sellers. We've got one creased leaf there where that was obviously bent up in packaging. But apart from that, plant growths are spotless. So nice plant. Nice plant. Hopefully we'll get some more blooms down the line. And my Paphiopedilums used to push up a new growth, bloom, and the old growth died. So I only ever had one growth that was good. You know, I had one good one, either growing or grown, and the old one dying. I never got them going very well. So that's that one. And now you'll see the blooms sticking out the top, I suspect, so it'll be a bit of a giveaway. Ooh. So I can just about hide that one. Now this is not a replacement, it's an also. In other words, I have something similar to this, but again, I thought, I like the colour, let's have a splash of yellow. This time a deeper yellow. So what have we got now? we've got now is a nice hybrid Oncidium. Why did this catch my eye? Again, look at the bulbs. Lovely big fat. Now, it's highly likely to be two plants in there. I did my best to sort of wiggle around in there. Now, this is along the lines of sweet sugar, but it's not. It's actually Oncidium honeybee, so it does have a name. And the blooms are quite large, as Oncidiums go. The nice bright yellow with the tiger stripes. Branching spikes. It's a strange occurrence here if you look. This spike here is actually a branch. The main spike's already been cut off. That's what's left. Yeah? And then we've got this one round here. Not a lot of evidence of new growths on here, but they will come after the blooms fade, I suspect. I mean, this is a strong bulb. That's going to produce a new growth effortlessly. And again here, this one that's in bloom, nice big strong bulb. The new growths will come. So that was that one. I just fancied a splash of yellow. So Oncidium honeybee, that one. That might have lousy roots, it might be in rubbish media, but it looked, as these types of mass-produced plants are, this looks like quite a good one as a plant. So it's not too bad, but I suspect it's two through there. I suspect this is one piece and this is a second piece. It might even be three pieces just to bulk the pot up, but we won't know till it comes out the pot. And then, talking of splashes of yellow, this might not fit in the frame. It nearly didn't go in the car. I put the box on the back seat of the car and it was touching the roof. So what on earth could he have got that's that big? Also, I did say in the Sunday chat, I've got something that I don't really grow, but circumstances meant that earlier this year I went from 1 to 2. Now we've got 3. And no, I'm not going to become a grower of these, but the colour got me. I bet that's off the top of the camera. Yes, it is. I'll have to take the camera back. We're not going to get this in, it's so big. I know you're going to get seasick, but I'm just going to try and get the camera back a long way so that we can get this in. And it's still not in. Now, we'll also have to move it up a bit. There. Now it's in shot. It's another cymbidium. And this one got me exactly the same as the last one I got earlier this year. The colour got me. The other one was a bit special because it did come from David Mather's private collection that was offered to me as I was admiring it. And when you get an offer from someone like that, from a private collection, you just don't say no. So that doubled my number of cymbidiums. And this one's taking me up by another one. I doubt if this one's got a name, but it might have. I suspect it's just looking at the label, I don't see a name on it. The pot is absolutely brimming with roots for a start. Very, very healthy, strong bulbs and no back bulbs. All the bulbs on this plant have got leaves. Cymbidium. Stand outside in shade in summer, spray and water well, rest in winter. So by nature, that instruction implies this is a summer bloomer rather than a winter bloomer, winter early spring. So what caught my eye? The colour caught my eye, but what else caught my eye? The other two spikes also caught my eye that haven't even started opening their blooms yet. And just the sheer vigour and strength that this plant looks like it's got. So yeah, impressed. So there's a growth here with, I was just going to say, there's a growth here without a spike. Well, that could be a spike. Could be another spike coming on behind, or it could be the first of the new growths. But yeah, I like that a lot. I'm just going to take the camera off so that, because the camera's so far away now, you won't be able to see the detail of these blooms. So let me get this set up on my hand. Back to normal filming now. No, you're not going out again, you've just come in. Yes, so this is a strong, healthy plant. That I'm pleased about. We've also got, looking at it in more detail now I've got it home, this bulb here has actually got two spikes. So these two spikes that haven't opened yet are both on the same bulb. So that implies it can do 2 spikes per bulb. And then coming around here, you might not have been able to see that from back there. We've got that tucked in there, which is probably another spike. And yeah, I walked in the door. There's a sliding door to get into the sales area. That's where you walk in. Oh, hang on, my door's going. Oh, that was a mad dash. Well, when somebody presses the security button, you know, it switches the camera on so you can see who it is and everything. If you don't get there quick enough, it shuts down. So I just missed it, so I had to dash off quick, otherwise the delivery person would have legged it like they do. So we have another box to undo. That's not orchids, but it is plants. So we'll look at that later, another time. Yes, details of the bloom itself then. Lovely colour, lovely markings on the lip, nice cup-shaped blooms. I liked it a lot. So there we go, another cymbidium. Now that one's not going to go outside with the other two because it's actually got its blooms. And as a consequence, I'm going to have to rearrange things in here because I now need to get somewhere for that to be. And at the moment there isn't anywhere for it to be. So I'm going to have to move a few things round. Bearing in mind I have got space on some of my shelves at the moment. So we'll just move a few things around so that we can admire that. Yeah, so I'm out of breath, dashing to the door and the gate that quick. Don't do running nowadays. That's for young people. Anyway, so that's my haul. Quite a bit all in one go. I spent far too much money, and part of that is the reason why I didn't go to the bonsai nursery, because I couldn't really justify spending anything else. So we got a named Miltoniopsis hybrid out of bloom, Oncostele catatanti with growths that will bloom in the not too distant future, although their spikes do take a long time because they're enormous. Really long branching spikes, possibly up to 1 metre long, and with the good strong bulbs behind them we should get that. Then we've got a new Phalaenopsis Ferrara to go out on the kitchen windowsill. We've got a Paphiopedilum, and we've got a new Oncidium honeybee, and then we've got the no name cymbidium, just a hybrid, no name on this one. So and plenty more buds to come. That's going to be quite a show. I'm just having a look at the spike here. The trouble is it's difficult to tell how long these blooms have been open, but looking at the top bloom it doesn't look like it's fully open yet. These might not have been open that long, and in amongst the cymbidiums that Sarah had for sale there were quite a few that hadn't opened their buds yet, so that you were buying them blind. Because without a name you couldn't go and look at some of the others and say, oh, it's the same as that one. But they were all good, strong, healthy plants. These are not miniatures. This is your full-size cymbidium, so it'll take a bit of managing, but I'm willing to have a go. For the spectacle you get, the long-lasting blooms, You know, it's got to be worth having a couple, especially as for, you know, 7 months of the year they can just go outside and sit in the garden, and I throw water on them when I'm dealing with my bonsai. So for that amount of time of the year they don't cause me a problem. Now this one could revert, although it's a summer bloomer now. In future years it might slowly but surely move towards producing the spikes in the autumn. So it could end up that way, but that will take time to find that out. And in the meantime we'll enjoy the blooms. So a large orchid haul, and we probably won't be getting any more for the rest of the year after that. Yeah, it was quite an expensive day out, but you know, I just don't go out much at all, so I thought, well, I've made the trip, let's take advantage of it. So that's what I got. And we'll deal with this, and there's another box coming as well, so we'll deal with those as and when, but they're not orchids, they're other things. And one box, whether this is it or not, is going to be of great interest to Gail Cunningham. That's a giveaway, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I got, and that lot on the floor. I've got to find places for all this lot now. All good fun, and the haul, you know, and the video of the haul ends what was a really good day out, so well worth it, although expensive. See you next time. Thanks for dropping by.